The author feels that it is strange and unusual for her to write in a diary about her feelings and experiences because it was the first time she was doing it. She feels this because she thinks that in the future, no one would be interested in reading about a young school going girl's past. She thinks that later, even she will not be interested in reading it. But then she puts these thoughts away and decides that she should write if she feels like doing so. She feels the need to write because there were a lot of thoughts she had been holding on to lately and she needed to get them off her mind. It is known that writing one's thoughts act as therapy. She makes the decision of writing a diary. The author feels that paper has much more capacity to absorb thoughts than people. People have low patience levels, but a piece of paper, being a non-living thing, would not refuse from absorbing her thoughts. This realization came to her one day when she was feeling more sad and confused than usual. She could not even decide whether to go out or to stay at home at that time. When she finally decided to stay at home, she sat being depressed and in deep thought. Again, she thought that paper had more patience and she decided to write everything that came in her mind because she did not intend on making someone read it unless she found a real friend. By a real friend, she meant a friend with whom she could share all her secrets. The author then comes back to the point where she thought of beginning to write. It is because she is lonely and has no friend to talk to. She then goes on explaining why she feels the need for a friend. She feels that no one is going to believe that a young girl like her is so alone, which practically she is not because she has a loving family. Near about 30 people that can be called friends, loving aunts, and a good place to stay. This depicts a clear picture of a happy family, but the one thing that lacks in her life is the presence of a true friend with whom she can share everything. She does have a good time with friends. They talk about stuff but not real stuff that is actually going on in their lives. Despite trying hard, they are unable to get closer. She feels that maybe it is her who is not able to trust anyone with her private stuff, that she is not able to come any close to her friends. She feels that the current situation cannot be changed and thus she needs to write her feelings in the diary. Usually when someone is writing in a diary, they list down all the facts about them in a formal manner, which the author does not want to do. This is because she wanted to give her need for a friend a shape and thus decides to name the diary as Kitty, hoping that someone would read her diary one day. She thinks that writing without giving details about the background story would be ineffective. So despite not wanting to do so, she gives brief details about her diary. Now let's see the questions. What makes writing in a diary a strange experience for Anne Frank? For that there are two reasons. One is she never wrote a diary before, and she thought that no one is interested in musing of 13 years old schoolgirl. Why does Annie want to keep a diary? Because she didn't have a real friend and she thought that paper had more patience than people. The next question is, why did Anne think she could confide more in her diary than in people? Anne believed that paper had more patience than people and thought that she could freely express herself in her diary. She didn't have that one trustworthy friend in her life. She was prompted to trust the diary more than the people around her. Now let's continue the lesson in the next module. Thank you.